We are live with the last semifinals match of the 2026 PA Collegiate Speed Chess Championship. We have FIDE Master Justin Lee from UPenn playing against National Master Michael Romero, and with me here are two commentators: National Master Mitch Fishbein, who was a 2024 PA Collegiate Speed Chess Championship winner, and also Alex Dorozelsky. I'm going to hand it off to them, and let's see what do you guys think of this first game.
Yeah, I mean, looks pretty normal position, I guess, some sort of French, I guess. I don't know if G3 was the main line,
Yeah, I mean, I'm a
but
little surprised that Justin decided to go for this Rubinstein French, the more like quiet and positional approach. I know him to be more of a proper blitz player. He likes his gambits, his dynamic play. So I'm a little surprised that he's chosen this quiet line and to play an
yeah,
endgame.
yeah.
I mean, we'll see how
Yeah.
that match strategy pans out here in the first game. But all
Yeah, really, Black only has one issue, and that's that bishop on C8 and pawn on B7. So if he fixes that, then, there's no reason he should be worse.
Yeah,
So
but I mean,
that's
I've
really what
always
Michael's shooting
found
for.
these positions very pleasant for white, like sort of the dream situation where you have this Catalan bishop bearing down, and black sort of has to contort their pieces to escape. So I
Yeah, so it
think,
looks like the idea of bishop D6 was to go rook B8, probably. So there's no bishop F4. And
yeah,
then he'll be able to go bishop D7, bishop C6 or something.
sure, but rook b8,
But
maybe even like something like c4 can come already, and
yeah, C4 is like for sure. White's got that queenside majority. Probably gonna
yeah,
want to
king
use it.
c7, I would immediately go c4 here. There's no b6, c5 coming. Yeah, he might be in trouble if that pawn lands on c5. Now your b7 weakness is fixed, and yeah, this doesn't
Yeah,
look great for Justin so far.
yeah. Still think it's like within the, realm of, maybe White's a little better, but not like substantial. I mean, like C4, rook B8, C5, bishop C7, then next move bishop D7. I guess bishop E3 might hit A7.
Yeah,
Less-
also reasonable.
So what's Michael thinking about? Maybe he doesn't want to play C4.
Knight
Oh,
a5,
knight A5.
also,
Okay.
I think a very strong move. Because now after rook d8, b6 is never really possible on account of the fork on c6, and yeah, I think it's a
Yeah.
very nice move. Maybe bishop e3 now, hitting the a7 pawn, and
Yeah.
the pressure is mounting here on Justin's queenside. So
Yeah. You don't want to play A6 here, but you might have to.
yeah,
It's
yeah. The good news is I don't see exactly how white can pick up the pawn. So for the time being, I think they're in a bit of a limbo on the queenside here. So I guess we're anticipating a6.
yeah.
Um,
A6, and then I guess we go for our C4.
I think c4 there is
Yeah.
because now we can really fix this weakness on b7 with c4, c5, and
Yeah.
the center. Yeah, no, Justin's in a bit of trouble here, and that's for sure.
Maybe he can play knight, like he can stack that pawn somehow, like knight D7 if takes, then rook A8. And then would that would not be possible to take.
Okay, here he goes.
But okay. Yeah.
a6. I see the eval bar just shot up. I don't know if the viewers are seeing the eval bar as well, but it's shot up here, so we'll see what exactly.
No, I'm not looking at it either. So it's shot up for white.
Yeah. So I don't know what the setup here is, but I guess it was on by default.
Yeah. So for the stream, there is no eval bar, no evaluations or anything like that. So
Cool.
yeah.
In that case, I'll turn it off and we'll level the playing. Also, another idea, maybe knight c4, targeting this bishop on d6,
Yeah.
bishop c7, bishop c5 check, also rook d1. Fantastic move. And again, these dark squares are feeling really, really, really loose for Justin.
Yeah. How's he gonna untangle? Like
That's the question, right? I mean, in some world, I might just go knight d5, right?
I like that. Yeah.
Take
Stack a
bishop
pawn.
d5, take bishop e6. Yeah, I think it's played, and also the practical choice here for Justin.
Yeah.
But not one that you make willingly. That's for sure.
Yeah. But I like the concept. You sack the pawns with 2 bishops, you get some activity. I don't think Michael should necessarily take.
I agree with you. I would maybe
Twice.
throw in a
Yeah.
bishop g5 check, provoke f6, and then come back to c1. And all the
Yeah.
ideas are still in play, c4, c5. So I think it's too early to cash in on the advantage. I would just, especially in a blitz game, sort of let the pressure mount and let Justin try to figure out how to untangle rather than make it easy for him.
Yeah, for sure.
So let's.
Bishop G5 is an option. Bishop A7 is another move to try to.
Okay,
Okay,
he
he wants to
cash
take.
in.
Oh, because maybe he's going to go rook takes d6 on bishop e6. I guess.
I'm not sure I see the okay, with bishop f4 in mind. Sure,
Yeah.
that makes sense. But again, I think the more pieces that come off, the more the margins shrink towards the draw here.
Yeah.
Because this knight's a little sidelined on the corner, and any rook endgame, as we know, is
Yeah.
will have, I think, very, very decent
drawn.
winning chances.
Yeah.
E5 feels a bit off, but still makes some sort of sense. Takes. Yeah, so I mean, I think white should still be better here, but it's unclear by how much.
Yeah. I guess rook d1.
So yeah, no, I want to say Justin has survived the worst of it, but of course it's still an uphill battle from here, and that looks like it just drops the pawn on a2, if you ask me.
But b3 though, does it work out?
Now the knight's trapped also, right? Like some sort of
b3, also rook g7 is
also.
Well, knight can go to c4. Like bishop a2, I think b3. I don't know. It's tricky. Maybe like king b4, king c3, and the king comes in.
Yeah, maybe.
He's definitely thinking about it.
I'm thinking king b4 actually, and king c3, just like you said, might actually be the move, right?
Yeah, king b4, maybe knight takes b7. I don't know.
No, I actually
doesn't work. That's king a3
is actually quite takeable. b3, king b4. Okay, he decides to go for b5. I think also quite reasonable. But no, I think that was maybe a missed opportunity for Justin to create some chaos on the board.
Maybe, yeah. So if knight b3, is he just going to take it? I don't know. I mean, all rook games are drawn, but you still
but this one,
don't want to necessarily test that theory.
Especially with the rook coming to do
Oh, cool move.
Fantastic.
That's a cool move.
Wow. King b6, rook d6, and okay. It looks like
that was b4. That was a good one.
Yeah, it looks like Michael's regained his footing. He might pick up a second pawn here. Yeah, the knight's still sidelined, but somehow it feels
he's
more like
trying to give mate. He wants bishop h3 or something.
Yeah. But again, I mean,
it's possible to go wrong here with white. Like pieces are kind of like knight on a5. I don't know.
Oh yeah, actually, I don't like this last move because after rook b7, king a6, you always have to contend with check and bishop d5, picking up the rook. So I think he's going to be a little more tangled here than he bargained for.
Yeah, white's pieces are kind of tied up.
Yeah, again, rook b7.
Okay, check and rook c7 or something.
Yeah, but he's got to pay attention now. A2 pawn is still hanging, rook d2 coming, and of course the salient threat of rook d1 check and bishop d5 is in the air.
Yeah, probably black has enough counterplay for equality, at least.
Sure, and also the time situation. I mean, Michael's ticking down to 30 seconds, and now he's the one with the tangled pieces, and I think Justin's the one with the really easy play here. So he decides king f1.
King f1, okay.
Looks up for grab. Rook d2 also seems very reasonable.
Yeah.
A lot of options here for Justin.
Rook d2, bishop g4. I don't know. Yeah,
rook e8, threatening mate.
Yeah.
f4 is probably forced here, right?
Yeah, f4 or f3, one of those.
Yeah, Jeffrey in the chat was saying that too. Jeffrey Cunnell in the chat, he was saying f3 or f4 probably was necessary.
Right now, I think you just take a time to pick up the pawn on a2. You might as well before it's gone. But yeah, it feels like Michael's gone really, really wrong here in his conversion.
I mean, king f2. I mean, okay, he's still pawn up.
Sure. I mean, rook c8 is also maybe in the air, right? It's like bishop a2, rook c8, and okay, bishop c4 check. You
no,
can
you
just
can't
take it in
take
knight
it.
d6.
Oh, you could have taken that knight d6. Yeah,
Oh my god, it was missed. Anyway, okay, now Justin's
they have
collecting.
no time. Yeah,
Yeah. Again, knight c4 is here met with king b7, so you can't take it as much as you'd like to.
three result game here now. Like,
I completely agree. G4 feels like a little bit of panic. Picking up the pawn again, knight c4 is not possible. Rook g7, bishop e6, rook g6, king a7. Finally, the knights escaped from the corner, but I think now it's Justin who's got the favorable position, as this b4 pawn is feeling very, very weak, and the bishop on c4 is holding both f7 and b5.
Yeah. Oh, knight c6 might have been perpetual idea.
Yeah. Well, a nice move here, knight f5, knight d6 here.
Okay, should still be
Within the basic
roughly,
line.
yeah, in the margin.
Oh, allowing bishop f1, allowing the trade, that feels wrong.
Oh, bishop f1.
Pawn, right? So any endgame feels bad. Also, oh, again,
he could still play bishop f1.
Again, bishop f1 felt winning. He's got to play bishop f1. The b pawn just runs, right? Again, bishop f1, and now you take on e4. Missed again. Now they have a rook in game.
Got no time.
Be drawn, but I'm not even so sure now with this pawn running. This might just be winning. In fact, this feels like it should be winning for black.
Yeah.
And yeah, there we go. This should just be a winning position now. What a first game, right?
Yeah, that was very tough.
Yeah, amazing. I mean, that's also just a really. I think the first game in these matches is really telling as to how the momentum's going to go. So losing a completely, not winning, but a completely dominating position has got to be a hit for Michael here.
Yeah, but he's playing well, and both of them are playing well. This is Queen G3. That's like some theory.
A blitz masterpiece by of Justin. He's actually played this line against me once. I really quite like these A6 lines with black. The idea being, of course, if possible, to just long castle and go f3, e4 as fast as possible.
Yeah.
Well, he puts a knight on f3 now, so I think he's just improvising a little bit, maybe feeling a little confident after his last win.
Yeah, maybe.
But we'll see.
So here. I guess black is aiming to play c5.
Yeah.
Try to exploit the little bit what's a little underdeveloped, I guess.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I think, for example, a move like f3 now would be quite poor, given that c5 is going to come and that diagonal from a7 to g1 is going to be ripped open.
Yeah, f3 would be ambitious.
E3 feels more prudent, but again, c5 and yeah, it's a little tough how to respond. You don't exactly want to take and give them another tempo.
Yeah.
So he decides to just go bishop e2. Now Michael can sort of choose whether or not he'd like to go c4 and play for a queenside attack, or if he just wants to keep the tension.
Yeah, one thing not to blunder is don't play bishop d6 here, because then there's knight takes f7. That's something I blunder a lot.
Yeah, that's a good shout out. I think that's happened all of us.
Do that, yeah.
So queen b6 here, and Justin decides to relieve some tension, trade a pair of knights, and I imagine castle is king here. There we go. And now I think Michael should probably decide to go for c4. He goes for bishop d6. I don't know if I like that decision. I think you're sort of, the more trades help white sort of open up the space advantage, right?
This looks a little like, I don't know. I think black is fine. I mean, if anything, I'd probably prefer black.
I agree with you, but I think maybe he didn't maximize his advantage coming out of the open. Maybe didn't punish this queen d3 as much as he should have. Yeah. But in any case, I think black's still in great shape. No weaknesses, good pieces.
Yeah. You could castle and play with c8. Probably what is white trying to do? Does white want to play e4?
Yeah, I imagine at some point in a dream world I can sort of take on c5. And let's just imagine for the sake of argument that he takes back with the queen e4 and sort of try to, break open the center a little bit. Of course, there's practical problems. With this queen on d3, every time dc5 is going to be met with knight c5 hitting the queen, and
he decides to take.
Yeah, he decides to take, and now we have this Carlsbad position. I still like black, maybe with knight b6, knight c4 coming, but I feel like this bishop on b7 would much rather be on f5.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah, let's see. Knight d1, I think, is a very
now he's getting ready to put the pawn on c3 probably.
Right.
Knight e3 and maybe a4.
Right. I agree. Yeah. And typically in these Carlsbad positions, we say people should attack in the direction in which their pawn chain points.
Yeah.
That's to say that black's play is on the, well, never mind anything that I said.
Yeah, e5. That's a very concrete move
Yeah.
because it looks like you're giving yourself an isolated pawn, but in reality, like he's gonna take the bishop on f3 and then he's gonna open up his own bishop, and it's the dynamic factors are more important than the fact that there's an isolated pawn.
I agree. I think that was a great decision by Michael, recognizing the Carlsbad structure might be slow or maybe not even in his favor with the bishop on b7, so he decides to change the nature of the position.
Yeah, it's like if you teleport the white knight to d4, then we'd be pretty happy with white, but as with the time, with how it is, the knight is, yeah, I mean, knight takes f3 followed by some sort of, maybe he wants to play g6 first.
Yeah, no, well said. I completely agree with you. G6 seems like a reasonable inclusion.
Oh, cool move.
G6.
That's a cool move. That's a cool move. The idea is queen e6, knight f3.
Right, right.
Even that was nice. So yeah, queen f4. This might be his last chance to take the bishop if he wants to do it. It's a question. I mean, black can also try to play rook c8.
Yeah, he decides to take an extra tempo, rook c8. Let's see. I imagine c3 will be played.
Yeah. It's all about, like, black wants to play like knight takes f3 and d4, but then his bishop hangs. So he wants to maybe defend his bishop somehow and then be able to open up his own, you know, his bishop on the long diagonal and play d4 and then restrict that knight on d1. But probably before that happens, white's going to try to get his knight out. Oh, rook c4.
Rook c4 is a very nice move. Justin's in trouble here. I mean, look at his rook still on a1, knight on d1, rook on f1, all of his pieces on the back rank.
He just needs a couple moves, like knight e3, knight c2, knight d4.
So that would be good. Critical moment for Michael. He's got to sort of capitalize now, or white will have a little bit of time to untangle. So he needs something concrete here.
Yeah, maybe bishop a8 or something, so that knight e3 can be met with knight takes f3 followed by d4.
Maybe bishop a8 can just be met with knight e2.
Oh, f5. No, Michael's going for the kill.
Yeah, I think that's also very correct. I think he has every right to. Knight e3 can now be met with f4. Bishop e2 will also be met with f4, and the queen is very, very short on squares. So I think this is a phenomenal decision. This f5.
Yeah,
and
yeah, it's just the knight on d1. It's just it just needs it's so close, but it's just not in time. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. No knight e3, no bishop e2. Yeah, it's a little tough to even suggest a move here for white. I imagine he has to try bishop e2, f4, queen h3, but that just looks.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
I mean, takes rook e4 with f3 coming. It just looks. Well, frankly, like you should be losing some material very, very soon.
Yeah. Maybe he can try to sacrifice something. How does he
okay, so he goes queen
h3. Bishop e2, yeah. He should queen h3 immediately. Yeah, that's another.
I think that's probably the only move. I mean, is g5 really an outrageous suggestion? I mean, I think it makes sense. Just
g5 makes sense. Yeah, just threaten g4. I guess bishop e2 would happen. And then rook h4 maybe.
Or maybe even rook e4 after bishop e2. Rook f6. I was thinking about this move. Yeah, I think this allows time for knight e3, and the idea is rook h6 is met with queen takes f5, which might have been missed.
Oh, rook h6.
Right. So I think maybe g5 was the right way to go about it. So yeah, knight e3 here, and I think, like you said, if white gets time to go knight e3, rook e1, he might be okay, and this might be exactly what we see here now.
Yeah, black needs to find something. Otherwise, like if you just move the rook back, then
in the long run, e5 move is also really weakening, right? Like if you now imagine a position with no queens and a knight on d4, it'd be probably close to losing.
Yeah. Now he's sort of threatening some fancy stuff like rook takes f3 and d4, some stuff like that.
Yeah, no, rook
And
f4.
then, but probably bishop e2. I would imagine here, unless there's some other rook h6. No, not rook h6 because the f5 pawn's protected. So that rook f4. That was a nice move. Wow.
Yeah, so bishop e2, rook h6, queen g3 might still be possible.
Queen g3. Yeah.
But still, after a move like rook e4 there and f4 coming, I think Michael's
yeah. Rook from f4 to h4. Maybe there also is possible.
also an idea.
This is a very unusual position. The rooks like this.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. But I think it's also necessary. G5 now, I don't like that move. I don't think it flows very well with the rest. I really liked your rook h6, rook h4 idea, threatening f4.
Yeah, I think he's trying to play rook h4 followed by f4. But I mean, this g5 pawn might be something.
Yeah, because now think about it. After like rook h6, queen g3 is now coming with tempo. So I'm not even sure exactly what the threat is here. So rook e1 is reasonable, sort of calling his bluff. But again, now the time situation is coming into play here.
Yeah,
this
kind of complicated position. No time to think.
Right, I feel like Michael might be losing control a little bit. I think he's frustrated. He knows he should have had that knockout blow a little earlier, but he can't, quite get it. Here, rook h4, queen g3, f4, g5 pawn is dropped. Oh no, he just blundered his rook.
No, I think he sacrificed it.
You think?
Yeah.
All right, well, queen h4, let's see
if you can fe and then d4.
Fe and, sorry, what was that? Knight g4?
G4. Oh.
Bishop h5 is played. I think that's a fantastic move as well. If you take on f2, simply queen f2, everything.
He wants rook takes e3 next. So
here, I think just queen f2. The e5 knight is undefended. Maybe just bishop f3, just consolidating your position. Played by Justin. Yeah. I'm not sure that was an intentional sacrifice by Michael.
I don't know. Yeah.
We'll have to ask him about that in the post-game interview.
Knight takes f3. He doesn't want to do it.
Even knight f3, queen f3 here, and okay, there should be.
Oh, d4. I don't know. It's crazy.
Oh no, something's happening.
What's going on?
I think queen takes b7 was maybe.
Rook g6.
Here.
Rook g6.
Oh no, he's blundered. Oh no. Oh my god. Oh, I can't believe it.
Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah, insane. I mean, the commentary couldn't even keep up. That was
no, commentary was hopeless.
Yeah, I mean, that's such a and he's one on time. Well, I think
these guys are good, man. Holy smokes!
Let's say it's a deserved win by Michael, but maybe not the cleanest. So
I will chime in. There's 21 and a half minutes left of the first time control. So usually we see about sometimes 6 games, sometimes 5 games if they get really long in this first segment.
Yeah.
So we have Petrov here.
Yeah, very main line. A little different from what Justin played last time. Maybe now he wants some real theory after his last re-attempt.
I always find it interesting, like the strategy of playing like multiple openings. Like it's a luxury to have. And most people they don't have that ability. Like I don't think I could just pull out like many different openings in a match, but it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I will note Jeffrey in the chat did mention how he's a bit surprised that Justin hasn't pulled out the 1a4 to rook a3 yet.
Oh, really? Okay.
This is like I said, Justin is sort of our residence blitz and bullet expert. So I imagine when we get to the 3+1 and the 1+1, especially if he's feeling a little on tilt, I'm sure we'll see an h4 or an a4 make a feature. I think it's partly psychological on his end.
Yeah, and
even on the board, if you see him play, he's got that same attitude, all sorts of psychological tricks, and I think that's what makes him such a good fast chess player. Is that he really, like Hikaru, he doesn't care. He'll play anything.
He literally doesn't care. Yeah,
quickly and confidently to the point where you're kind of.
Knight takes c3. What is this? Rook e8, bishop f5. What's the idea? I guess knight e2. But then king f1. Oh, he takes immediately on f5. Okay.
Yeah, again, I'm not exactly sure what Justin's idea was here, if he has to go knight back to e4, I mean, that's just a free pawn for white, and I think Michael's found himself with another very, very pleasant position.
He wants queen h4, I guess.
The queen h4. Can I just
He's
go
thinking about it. Maybe it's not that
mate,
good.
right?
So maybe it's not actually mate, right?
Right.
Yeah. So you can just go
Queen h2, king f1, queen h1.
Oh, maybe it's bishop f. So queen h4, bishop f3. Oh, I don't know.
I don't see it because I mean the white bishop's coming to e3 to start any checks on the e file, and I don't think queen h4 is there.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, so neither does Justin. Justin just takes and accepts another worse position. But I have to say, the openings have not been going in Justin's favor so far.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, okay. I mean, he's got a little bit of initiative. Rook e8, but okay, queen d3. Then the knight c5. Nice trick. Queen d3.
Yeah, rook e8, queen d3.
Yeah, I did it. he
Nice.
was waiting for that one.
Right.
Yeah.
I think it's a smart way to get your pieces in, but again, a pawn is a pawn, and
yeah. 96. Oh, so queen d1 doesn't actually. Okay, he doesn't care. He's just going to say, okay, bishop e3 next, and no big deal.
That's right. I think Michael's unbothered, happy to nurse his extra pawn and extra minute on the clock advantage. So the onus is on Justin here to come up with something. Maybe he'll try b5 and chip away at the structure. This is sort of a topical idea. And the pawn deficit is really felt.
Yeah, it's a serious pawn. f5. He's sending it in.
I mean, I think this is understandable. Justin realizes that the status quo isn't favorable for him, and he'll just get squeezed. So he decides to spice it up a little bit. I think it's a great practical decision.
Yeah, for sure. That's so obvious what how white should react.
Yeah, that's right.
Maybe like queen c1, bishop f4 or something.
Queen c1 makes sense.
Kind of weird. Are we that afraid of f4? Like f4, we move our bishop?
No, not necessarily, but okay, I think d5 is the a classic move here. They say that when your opponent does some nonsense on the flank, you're supposed to strike in the center.
Well, yeah, black maybe can play c5 here, and then keep the position closed. Oh, f4. Yeah,
f4 is played.
More critical. Well,
yeah.
DC is an intermediate move, but that might not be what he wants to do. But it's possible move.
I mean, I think you can also simply.
I think if you play bishop g4, then he's going to play c5.
Again, I'm a sucker for these a pawns. I'm not sure why this one is.
Oh, you want to take on a7? Maybe
c5, but b4 coming, and well, there's some sort of merit to taking that guy. And Michael feels
oh, this is scary. I guess, yeah, so c5, b4, yeah. Well, I don't know.
Or even bishop b6, and, it's a little unclear how you attack that bishop.
Yeah, bishop b6, and it comes out to a5.
So, in fact, yeah, I think you could just make a very normal move here, like bishop b6, or even like queen d3, intending rook e1, and that bishop's shockingly very happy on its home on a7.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe queen d3, maybe bishop b6. I like queen d3, simply intending rook e1, right?
Yeah. Queen d3.
For example, queen d3, queen a4, I can just go rook e1 and say, if you take my bishop, I'll take your knight. And that would always be a very good trade for white, who's now up 2 pawns. He decides to go for b4. This is also, I think, a very reasonable move. Just no tricks, no risks that the bishop will be trapped.
Yeah.
Imagine cb4 is just going to be met with ab4, bishop b4 with something like queen d4, and c5 coming.
Maybe can you try, I don't know, knight c3, just one move threat, I guess. Queen moves to c2 or g3. Maybe he wants to play g5, but that's also kind of maybe too slow. I don't know. What if he tries b5? That's probably not good.
No, I mean, imagine you gotta take on b4, take the pawn. But it
What
feels.
about what about b5? b5, bishop takes c5. Is that what happens?
I mean, sure, bishop c5, bc5, probably both are fine. I imagine bc5 comes with tempo.
And
So
then queen a7.
oh,
And then,
tricky,
and then
tricky.
f2. Yeah.
Although
I
even
don't know. You
yeah,
could-
so
I
maybe
think.
b5.
Oh, okay. I didn't even consider that. That's just wins a pawn. Well, wins a pawn, but wins a pawn back.
Yeah.
One pawn back.
So Michael's still up a pawn, and I feel like Justin's position just feels really, really loose. That pawn on f4 would much rather be on f7 or f6 right now.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. Well.
yeah, bishop b4 is a classy move. Just taking control, no risks, no nothing.
Yeah, and Jeffrey in the chat predicted this. He actually said bishop d4 and then pile up on the a file is Jeffrey's suggestion.
Yeah, this looks like rook a7 is
Oh,
possible.
rook a7. Yeah,
I'm not exactly sure what
that's game over.
Yeah, what Justin had in mind here, but maybe this is actually part of his strategy. He wants a rook on g7, go king f8, and say suddenly it's white's pieces who are a little loose. But again, I mean, I don't think we really believe in this. Rook a7 could have also just been missed.
Yeah.
That's
a good.
Yeah, and that hesitation really tells us that probably it was missed. Rook g7 played, king f8 only move, and this feels critical. Queen b1 looks reasonable, hitting b4, pinning the knight.
Mm-hmm.
Queen b1 also played, I think, a very good move.
Yeah.
Bishop c5, I think you can just.
Yeah, you take on c5 and then take the queen.
I mean,
no, take on c5, king g7. That's tricky. Okay. Rook b5 maybe here.
Let's say rook b5, or even just something like rook b7 seems very reasonable. Keeping control, no risks.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't think he has to go for broke, and he's doing a very good thing here, slowing down, burning some time off the match clock, and I think also just making sure that he converts this one as cleanly as possible. I think rook b7 will, or maybe even rook c7, both look like reasonable moves. Rook g5 is also very, very tricky.
Yeah.
Pointing out that the knight is pinned.
Queen f7. Yeah, I mean, it's a tough position. Queen f7, there's bishop c5 and rook f5.
That's right, yeah.
It's to go to d7 maybe.
And that knight on f3 is really the silent hero, making sure there's no rook e1 back rank checkmates. Like I said here, I think bishop f5
exactly
should just finish the game.
Yeah, maybe he's
looking for... Michael's taking a little think here just to make sure he doesn't miss anything, but I think you're
looking for a more elegant win than that. Maybe.
Although, I mean, bishop c5, rook f5 seals.
Bishop g7 is another move.
Yeah. I mean, you can also maybe take... Yeah. You can also take on c5 and go queen b4. He just has to go knight e5. It's all good. I like...
also makes sense.
Yeah, this is just over. The knight on e4 is falling. And the bishop on c5 is falling. One more...
now, yeah. Well, okay. There's a lot of moves.
Queen e4 should probably just be mate. Queen e4, bishop d4, queen f5 check. I think mate is soon to come.
Yeah.
Again, no back rank make. The bishop protects the a1 square, so I think queen e4 should just finish this game. And it is played. And queen f4 check, and mate should be very soon to follow. Rook g7, picking up the queen, also good. Knight c6, picking up the queen. Although, just make sure for back rank checkmate on e1.
Yeah.
So queen f7, very nicely spotted.
Oh, he's so tricky. King d6.
It's always tricky. Queen f4 and queen d4 check. He got him.
Oh, okay.
Very nice. But that's Justin for you. I mean, even when he's down a queen and about to be mated, he always finds...
Yeah, that was tough. Yeah, he's starting from a pawn down position. But he defended, he put up a good fight from that position.
Phenomenal fight, but also
wasn't easy.
Michael, right? I mean, great technique. Just
Michael played well.
And then consolidating his position.
We have some Rogozin theory here.
I will mention that there is 10 minutes left of the match clock for this segment. So this is probably the last game of this segment. All the games have lasted pretty long. So just for anyone watching, we'll probably go probably immediately to the waiting screen after the last game is over. probably. That's what we'll do.
Cool.
Awesome. Well, this is Justin's main repertoire now. So clearly he's
DC4. I haven't seen that move. I don't know. I thought like you're supposed to play H6 and then a bishop H4, DC4.
Yeah, I agree with you. This feels like Justin kind of got a very nice position here out of the opening for a change.
Yeah, but I thought DC4 white maybe could have played E4 to try to punish that. Okay, now it goes E4.
Point. Takes on C3, takes on C3, H6.
Yeah, now I guess you kind of have to take on F6, even though you don't really. Maybe you could try to like. I don't know. Is he going to try to sack it?
H4, yeah, the sack looks quite enticing to me. I mean, because E5 is coming. I think, yeah, bishop H4 is a very classy move by recognizing that black's completely underdeveloped with a rook on A8, a bishop on C8, and a great center. I think bishop H4 is a classy move. G5 played. I think we're going to see the sack almost for sure.
Yeah.
And then it's a little unclear what Michael had in mind. Because after the sack takes...
Well, G5 was the critical move, you know? And so, well, maybe he could, like, play, like, knight takes E4 here or something.
But knight E4... Oh, that's an interesting idea.
I guess knight F3.
Sure. Knight F3 should be very...
Okay, yeah. So he accepts the...
sack, but again, I mean, E5 coming, followed by bishop D3 and queen H5. This feels...
Yeah, he needs a way to like get his queen out of there, like C5 somehow, but it's going to be too slow.
E5,
right? Yeah.
So in fact, E5 right
maybe
now,
he should sack his queen, like knight takes E4, 2 pieces for the queen, but that's not so fun.
No, I mean you're still getting mated. So queen E8 played.
Probably, yeah.
You probably had to E5. I imagine.
Okay, he's keeping the material. That's the right thing to do.
Right. Or what do you like more?
Yasser says like if you're gonna die, then die with a full tummy.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Okay.
You have to suffer for
so
something.
Knight H7, Knight H7, King H8. I think yeah.
Knight H7, Bishop H6 is maybe gonna come, and you can already pick up some material back.
Yeah. I'd kind of be okay with that. I'm sort of more worried about getting mated.
I would agree with you on that one as well. I kind of liked E5 a little bit more than Queen F3, trying to bring the bishop to the attack as well.
Yeah. E5, yeah. So that you can play Queen G4. One move. So what is he thinking about?
I don't know. As far as I'm concerned, Knight H7 looks like an only move to me, and that's time he might want to spend later. King G7. Okay.
Oh, he wants to play Rook H8. That's what he wants to defend. So Queen G3. Then he wants Knight E4. That's the point.
So maybe E5 now.
E5,
quite strong.
Yeah. E5, yeah. Knight H7. You know,
it goes on. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, even if I go E5, Knight H7, and simply bring my bishop back to say D2, I mean, I think still the attack rages on. Queen F4, Queen H6 coming, Bishop D3 coming, and it's a little unclear how Black untangles. Right? Again, B6 isn't possible. So I really don't think there's any rush here for Justin to prove his advantage. I think it's I think simply a quiet move like Bishop E3, especially in a blitz situation, or Bishop H4. I prefer E3 again, keeping that Queen F4, Queen H6 idea alive.
Yeah, I liked it better there too.
F5, yeah, no, I think this Bishop really
F5,
the diagonal. But again, I think White should still be, if not better, at least practically better.
Yeah, well, I would have probably agreed like a couple moves ago. Now I'm not as sure, but yeah, I'd probably still agree with. I don't know. It's okay. Like White can, if White wants, he can take on H5 and take on E6. It's not necessarily the most like ambitious.
Queen G check also comes to mind.
Queen G3, yeah. King H8, and then Rook G8. Sure. I don't know. It's maybe. I
mean, there's Rook E5 also, but then Queen G4 is also in the air, so very complicated. He decides to go Queen G3. E7 pawn is also hanging.
Queen G4 is another option.
Yeah, Queen C7 comes with check if you want it.
Queen C7.
But then,
okay.
okay, it says to take,
Yeah,
take.
there's rook f7. I didn't see queen c7 at all.
There we are. Rook f7, queen e5, maybe followed by rook e3, rook g3. I still think white's doing quite well.
Yeah. Yeah.
In fact, I think you have to go. If you play something like king h8, rook e3 already looks very, very bad. So rook f7 feels necessary.
Yeah.
And again, that rook's still on a8, the bishop's still on c8. Sure, you can tell me, look, black's up a piece, but when these pieces are on c8 and a8, it's really not felt. So queen e5.
Yeah, for sure.
Again, rook e3.
I want to trade queens. I want to go queen h5. Trade queens.
Yeah.
But probably at this point, white.
We can take
okay
on e6, and I'm up 4 pawns, right? So.
Yeah. Yeah. That's probably better for white. Much better for white.
Yeah.
Maybe hard to evaluate for this.
Sure. But also, I mean, I don't. Okay, b5.
Oh, b5. Yeah, that looks like.
Yeah, finally getting out the pieces. Now Justin has a decision whether to cash in on e6 or to keep the pieces in play. Rook e3, by the way, is still a move.
Rook e3, yeah.
Yeah, played
E3.
very, very strong.
Good move.
Let's see here. Tough decision for Michael here. What to do?
I guess maybe queen h5. Oh, he wants to get it
before, but I don't believe in this. I think after rook g3, even if you've managed to consolidate a little bit, your king is still weak and you're still down 4 pawns. FG, by the way, I think here is just really strong.
Oh, yeah.
Rook g5 coming. No, I don't believe in this at all for Michael. I think after FG, I don't really see you stop queen g5 and more pieces from dropping.
Yeah. FG, that's a good one.
FG also
I guess you have to play like king g6 or something.
King g6, you even have rook f6, queen e4 check. I mean, everything's undefended, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Just not a position you want to be in. So let's see here. Yeah, Michael's struggling to find a move. That may also just be because there isn't one. King g6 again met with rook f6 and queen e4 check. LPDO, loose pieces drop off.
Right.
They say.
Yeah.
Tough to even suggest a move here for black. Also, g4, g5 is a non-trivial threat that's also coming, right? So
yeah.
Even if somehow you do manage to hold on to those pieces. Okay, but this just drops a piece to queen g5, and this should just be a very comfortable win. So let's see if there's time on the clock for another 5+0 game before.
There's 2 minutes left of this segment, so if Michael resigns now, which he does, so there's time for one more game. So yeah.
Amazing. All right. Well, let's see here if he goes for another Petrosian or Justin decides to go for a different opening. C5.
Yeah.
That's more his style.
Does he play 3 different openings with black? So
Justin plays everything. I mean, I've played so many Blizz games against him, and again, it's tough to pin down exactly what his main repertoire is.
So
yeah,
that's awesome.
Topical. This b6 line.
So he's going for the hedgehog.
Mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, again, I think Michael's got an advantage in the 5+1, but again, when it comes to 3+1 and 1+1, Justin's really
a little bit of a pump fake from Justin here. Like, we all thought, I thought he was going to play like d6. But
no, d5 is not. This is just a bad move.
So d5.
Bad move. No, you can't do it.
Oh, you know this?
I tried this from the black side. It doesn't work. You have to play. This is like main line. You can't play d5 without preparation.
Yeah.
Just too weak.
It's unusual, but
No, it's just bad. As much as I want to support my, fellow pen players.
Yeah.
I think Justin, he plays every opening, but that's not to say he plays every opening particularly well. And this might be one that he hasn't played super well. I think maybe it was a mouse slip. Maybe he intended to put the pawn on d6. Maybe he just overestimated his options, but he should be in quite a bit of trouble here. I mean, b4 here looks quite strong.
Yeah, just
I think he wants to take and go knight c6. Yeah.
Oh, just to chime in, Jeffrey, to your point, Alex, Jeffrey said he mainly plays the French and Petrov versus 1e4 and semi-Slav versus d4, but dabbles in everything else.
He dabbles. That's right. Here, by the way, after
Yeah.
bishop d4, I think we're close to
Bishop d4. Yeah, that's maybe a better one.
bishop f6 and knight d5 coming. It's just very bad. And I'd say I think he's played also a lot of Rogozins, Nimzos, and everything in between. But yeah, I think that's a good description of his repertoire. Those three, and then a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
But clearly not a lot of Khan, because this is just really a disaster.
Is he thinking about knight takes d5?
I think he is, and I think that might also be very strong. But maybe also knight b5.
d5. That's what he was thinking. Okay.
He just wants to
Why did he want to go
shut the game down. No nonsense.
Wonder what the difference is. Knight takes b5, knight d5. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's all quite bad probably for Justin here, who might right about
because here, like,
choice to play the Khan.
Queen takes c1. Oh no, okay, yeah, queen d7.
Queen d7. I imagine.
So knight c7, he's gonna go, or maybe not. I thought queen takes c7, but probably not. That's probably not good.
No, the b7 bishop's also hanging, so I imagine he has to go king f8, but then bishop d4 and
yeah.
Bishop d4 played. Again, rook a7 is met with bishop b6, and we don't see this often, but the rook on a7 is trapped.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's probably just going to be up in exchange.
Yeah, so I imagine maybe de4 will be tried, and after knight a8, bishop a8, he'll try to claim some sort of compensation, but it's yeah, I'm not sure we believe in it.
Yeah, maybe he should try like de4, knight a8, and then e takes f3.
I like that idea, yeah. But again, with this rook on h8, it's
yeah, not good enough development. If he had his, if he was castled here, then I'd sort of believe it.
Knight c6 also a very reasonable move. Yeah, Michael is unimpressed and decides to just take. I think you can also just take on f6 and queen takes d5.
Yeah.
Just finish the
Yeah,
game.
that's very clean.
Chess Quack in the chat says Mitch Fishbein is my favorite draw master. So that's O'Brien.
Okay, yeah. I've drawn like 6 games against him.
Clearly, Justin doesn't have the same solid play style as Mitch here, because he's move 18, and this feels already like a resignable position.
Yeah, and just for anyone in the chat, like this is the last game of this segment. So after this game, we'll immediately go to the waiting screen, and then if the players take their 5-minute break, which I feel like they most likely will, then it'll be 5 minutes until the next portion.
But props to Justin here, not giving up, playing queen e8.
This game, anything can happen.
Yeah, super resilient. I think also in a match, this is very important to tell your opponent sort of, look, you might get a winning position, but you're gonna have to just take so much to beat me. So he's just sort of draining Michael's energy.
Yeah.
For some sort of tricks, but again, I mean, he's down in exchange, a pawn, his king's weak. I wouldn't put my money on him if I was a betting man.
Yeah, to that point, in the last semifinals match, that's kind of what Josh did with Barron. Like Barron had like a 6-point lead towards the end of the P+1, and then Josh still won the match because Barron just got tired out. I mean, these matches aren't so easy.
King's going on a journey.
Hmm?
King's going on a journey.
Yeah.
Oh, now it's back home. Okay.
Oh, maybe a little repetition.
Yeah, maybe draw.
We'll let's see. Is Michael interested? Oh, well, maybe. After King G7, make sure not to accidentally repeat 3 times.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be a whoops. I mean, I think anything's fine here. Just bishop e2 and castle your king. If you want to go for the kill, h4, rook h3, rook g3, okay, simply taking on a6 will do the trick. I think the trick here is to not overthink it, not expend too much energy, and sort of just bring this one home.
Yeah, for sure. So the winner of this match plays in the final against who?
It is Josh, who's also from UPenn.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So it's possible to have an all UPenn final,
Yep.
right?
We've
Okay.
I was playing some training games with Josh yesterday on campus, and we were talking about the final between him and Justin, and he thinks it's going to be a very close match. I think it's going to be a very close match. Of course, this match isn't over, so it's not a given that Justin makes it to the final. And of course, the way things are going right now,
Let's see.
it looks like he might not even make it. But I think either way, it'll be a fantastic final.
Alrighty, hello everyone. We are back here with this second segment. Mitch had to go, but we have someone who's just as good, if not better. Josh Altman, he's with us, joining us for the 3+1 and 1+1 sections. How are you doing, Josh? And what do you think about this game that's progressing?
Yeah, I'm good. This seems like thanks for having me. Yeah, this seems like a very exciting game, very close, and obviously Justin is a very, very strong speed player, and so is Michael. So this will be a great match, and only within one.
Yeah, I want to point out, I see already Justin's got himself a 10-second lead on the clock. 13 moves into the game. So, I mean, I think this just speaks to how speed chess is really his thing. He understands that sometimes having an extra 30 seconds on the clock is equivalent to having an extra, +1 evaluation on the position. So I think he's a very great practical player, and of course, we're rooting for him as fellow pen chess players. So we're hopeful that he'll figure out how to
Yes,
play.
this is an interesting position. Looks like careful of some knight queen d4. A very nice move.
Yeah, and this reminds me of the famous octopus game from Kasparov and Karpov, where he sticks this knight on d3 and just controls the whole position. So I mean, those knights on d3 are dangerous, especially when they're anchored in as tightly as they are now. I think this opening has gone amazingly for Justin here.
Yeah, and do you have to give up the c4 pawn to play bishop e3 and get some development? Although that looks quite
Yeah, it doesn't look. And if you hold on to it, I mean, rook d8 coming. Also, the e5 pawn is up for grabs whenever you want it. So.
maybe throw in like h3 and then go from there.
Yeah, but h3, bishop f5 feels like it might just help black consolidate. So bishop e3, I think, is a great practical choice.
No, queen takes c4 probably.
Queen e5 is also an option if you want it.
Yeah.
That's maybe the better pawn to take, intending f5 maybe even. And Justin's already up 45 seconds on the clock. I mean, that's a big time advantage and a big positional advantage. Things are really looking up for Justin here.
Maybe f3 might be a move to consider here.
Yeah, I thought about that. F3.
Maybe take queen d3 and rook a d8 though is a little
Yeah,
unclear.
e3
Maybe
is-
there's queen e. Yeah, that's a little unclear.
So f3 played. Let's see if Justin bites. If not, I mean, bishop f5 also feels very reasonable.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess the line would be so take on f3, queen takes d3, rook a d8, and then that's looking like the piece is coming back.
I mean, you can also just take on g2, and I mean, like you've got
Yeah.
pawns. E3's hanging, c3's hanging. Yeah, also okay, also taken. I think this is a great practical decision. Rook d8 played. Maybe you wanted to take on g2 first. I don't know. Both feel very reasonable.
Yeah, because queen e4, queen takes c3, and the bishop on e3 is hanging. Yeah, so.
But then, I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, this is very, very strong by Justin. I mean, somehow something switches when he gets the 3+1, and he just plays this amazing dynamic chess. I mean, this is just like a pure.
Yeah, this is actually very. I'm struggling to see a move.
Yeah, it's just a dynamic masterclass here. Queen e4 played and queen c3, like you mentioned. Queen g4 is met with queen takes e3 check.
And I mean that's pretty bad, although it's not. Okay, bishop c5.
Good practical try. I think you can just take on g2 though with tempo, right? King g2 is bishop h3 check, as is queen g2. Taken.
Queen g2, there might be bishop h3 as well, but then the rook on f8 hangs, so that's definitely very complicated.
Right. So let's see now. It takes on g2. Again, rook f2. Watch out. Queen a1 is in the air.
I mean, after queen g2, what's the follow-up from Justin? Because the rook on f8 is hanging. It's a little probably okay. Rook c1.
Was queen g2 bishop h3 not just a move?
Maybe like queen g3, and then you take on f8.
Mm.
But then okay, I guess a1 hangs.
Anyway, rook c1 played. Let's see what Justin decides to go for here. Even if you lose the exchange again with the pawn on g2, I don't see a situation in which you're ever in trouble. But this may not be exactly what Justin was looking for.
Yeah, definitely because I guess if you play like queen h3, bishop f8, rook f8, and it's not exactly clear how the pawn on g2 actually might do more harm than good, serving as a defender for the white king. Funny enough.
Yeah, that's right. So let's see what Justin decides to come up with here. Not super easy.
h3.
You played, but like we said, yeah, I think you mentioned it. It's not exactly clear how exactly we're breaking through. Queen g3 forcing a queen trade. I think actually Justin's very happy about the queen trade. Because at least now his play is super easy and he can sort of enjoy his 50-second time advantage.
Yeah, definitely once the pawns start getting rolling, like f5 or h4, this is
I
going to
think
be
he's just
a
got
little
to
tricky.
he might be
The rooks have to get active, yeah.
king g7, h5. Maybe he's just looking at bishop e6 and to come collect the pawn on c4. Bishop f3 check. Very strong. King h2. King g6.
b6.
Rook here. But it's too passive. I mean, I think if
Maybe
he's...
rook d1 here, even threatening mate m1.
Yeah, that's a very good move. In fact, I don't see how you stop it. If you have to go g4, h4. Oh, also...
This is very, with the pawns on the light squares is kind of, yeah, kind of funny.
I think you just got to start running. Bishop e2 is very strong. Just collecting the whole chain.
Okay,
Although,
but rook coming to e7, though.
Yeah, that's not great. No, he messed something up here. I think he should have just... He got a little too greedy collecting all the pawns. He might have just had to run the h-pawns. Although even this, I think, practically is...
Yeah, I think once the king comes forward and kind of shoulders off, but this actually might be a king c2 and
This
king
should objectively
b2.
be a draw. Yeah, it should objectively be a draw. But again, in practical terms, with so little time on the clock, anything can happen. Although it looks like he's built...
Now, yeah, rook c4,
here.
yeah. Unless Michael's maybe trying to win, actually.
Yeah.
Rook a5.
Yeah, I wonder, do you just abandon your pawns now and just set your king on the h8 corner and make the draw, or do you...
Maybe try to hold on to the pawns just with the time situation, but it will be good to get c2.
Oh my god, he doesn't have rook h1.
Wow.
Oh no. Oh, what a heartbreak.
Oh, that's so unlucky.
And now it's slipped away from him. And okay, that'll just be game now.
That's
okay.
too bad. I thought we were gonna see a theoretical, rook
Right.
versus bishop. Yeah, a lot of intricacies there.
But amazing. I mean, the first game of the 5+1 was topsy-turvy. Now the first game of the 3+1 as well. This is promising to be a very, very exciting match, the way this is going.
Yeah, now we're back to one of Justin's favorite semi-Slavs, and then a classic Queen's Gambit decline structure. This will be
sort of now a Coley system, putting a pawn on b3, a bishop on b2.
A lot of different ways Michael can play it. C5, you can go b6, fianchetto it.
See, bishop b7, very standard chess. I think this is a good opening choice by Justin, though. He's had so many opening mistakes so far. I think just playing something calm that he knows very well is a great practical choice. So I guess we'll see how this turns out.
Yeah, and I think the key here for both players is to just try to play natural moves as quickly as possible, and then really save the time for when the position got crazy like it did last time with all of that stuff going on.
I completely agree with you.
Knight takes d5. Yeah, so now I guess Michael can decide if he wants to take the pawn on d4. I assume Justin might play knight takes d4 to avoid the isolated pawn. Or knight c6 first.
Knight c6 is a very reasonable move.
Yeah, absolutely.
Develop your pieces and figure it out later.
Maybe Justin could take on c5 and queen e2. Maybe get the rooks in. It's pretty standard here.
I think he can sort of claim that his bishop on b2 is...
Yeah, even knight e4 here, just opening up the bishop directly.
Yeah, no, this is great chess by white here.
Maybe
sort
bishop back
it's
to
symmetrical structure, but he's up like 2 tempi. Maybe he'll try for, queen e2, rook d1, and open up some pressure down the d file. So let's see. Is f5 a move you would consider, Josh?
Yeah, so I was thinking about f5. It looks like one of those moves that can't be good just because of the structure, but you do get a lot of tempi from it, so might be a good decision.
Yeah, I mean,
f5 maybe knight g3 or knight c3.
Yeah, but f5, knight g3, bishop f6. I think if I can trade the bishop off, I'm safe, right?
Yeah, so maybe f5, knight back to c3.
But then again, I always take
bishop f6 even.
Anyway, rook c8 played. Michael doesn't.
A3.
E3 very quickly played. I think that's a phenomenal move.
Yeah,
Covered
just play quickly, naturally, build the time advantage.
Knight f6 feels a bit slow. You never really want to be moving your pieces backwards, at least from a psychological standpoint. And again, Justin's got another 40-second lead on the clock. I mean, Michael's playing some great chess, but I think maybe it's just a bit too slow for the 3+1. Because those 40 seconds might come back to haunt him in 20 moves from now.
Knight A5 is definitely a testing move. Maybe rook takes C8.
Yeah, testing is maybe the right word, but I'm not sure I believe in it entirely. I mean,
Yeah, you just have to be careful of rook C8, queen C8, and then you get the pawns doubled on F6.
yeah, I mean, first one knight back and then the other to the rim feels wrong. Although in the same straight, knight D2 can't be the move, right? I agree with you. I think rook C8 there was critical. If queen C8,
I think maybe even just go back for Michael, just like play knight C6 back quickly and ask Justin what he's going to do.
I think that's reasonable. But yeah, I think that was a missed opportunity by Justin there. My coach always used to tell me, Alex, knights don't move backwards. And every time I'd explain to him, no, trust me, this was a very complicated maneuver, he'd just be like, no, knights don't move backwards.
I'm thinking now the knight should move backwards. Maybe to C6 is a
now it seems, but that's more of a sideways knight move, right? Than a
more of a sideways one.
Okay, that's up for debate. Anyway, queen d5 played, centralizing the queen. With that being said, central queens are also ripe for being attacked by pieces and pawns alike. So let's see how that works.
E4 is something to consider for Justin here.
E5 seems very reasonable, just grabbing an extra space.
E4, queen H5, probably.
Right.
Or to I'm not sure if that's in Justin's style to make a committing move like that, but maybe he just wants to nurse the position a little more and then break with E4. But E4 does look quite promising.
Right. You're also very close to winning some material with bishop f6, and bishop e4.
He goes for E4.
Work out E4, I think, is also a great decision. Queen H4. But again, I feel like everything feels a little loose here now for Michael.
So E5, knight D5 with knight F4 coming.
Although maybe I mean, 5 knight D5, queen E4 comes with tempo.
E4, bishop A6.
That's, I think, also a great move. Simply recognizing that the now that the queen is left D8, the queen side's become much softer. So he's sort of shifting his focus onto the other side. I think that's a great full board awareness there.
Yeah, and I think bishop A8 is correct to try to keep.
And bishop E5, I think, also very, very strong. Again, just trying to poke holes into the queen side here. If the knight is forced to move back and rook C7 is allowed, well, now it's a very clear advantage for white. So let's see.
Yeah, it's unclear actually how to proceed here with
rook C8. Maybe knight E. Well, there's currently a pin, so knight E5 isn't quite working. But
he could even go. Yeah, I guess. Let's see.
Let's see exactly what he chooses. H3 is a great practical move. Again, 14 seconds on the clock. Everything's pinned.
Oh, is there
happen? Now that feels like it can't.
E5.
Maybe E5 takes G4, for example, might be winning a piece.
Or even just knight takes E5 with everything being pinned up.
Oh, you're completely right. That's just a free piece. I mean, that's a great shot.
Bishop covering too.
So simply knight E5, and there it is. I mean, that I think was a very great game by Justin, just slowly turning up the pressure, poking holes on the king side, then on the queen side, and then again using this 40-second time advantage to induce a blunder out of Michael. I think that was textbook. Again, great chess by Michael, but just a little bit too slow. You can't blame somebody for blundering when they only have 10 seconds. So the solution is to just not have 10 seconds when you get to that position. But that requires making some faster decisions in the opening. But Michael is still defending. I mean, he's not giving up. Both these players super resilient.
Yeah, anything can happen in these positions, especially when there's a knight on the board in blitz. That's definitely anything's possible.
Although this conversion looks pretty smooth by Justin.
I'm thinking maybe try for some kind of a stalemate idea, like put the king on F5, like get rid of the pieces, do some blitz trick. But Justin's pretty experienced and stuff, so I don't know how successful that would be.
A5 here, liquidating all the pawns on the queen side, which I'm not sure I'm a huge fan of. Of course, should still be winning, but typically you want to keep as many pawns as possible. So this conversion is again feeling not ideal. With that being said, should still be very, very comfortably winning.
Yeah, although not as I mean, maybe now with the knight being.
Yeah, there we go. forces a trade of knights, and now the pawns are probably going to be falling. Although again, Michael is just desperately trying.
We might actually see a bishop and knight checkmate. Perhaps would be something to see.
Well, we got that one of those in your game, right? And you showed us the technique.
It was I mean that was very close to 15.
We got it done in the end. You know,
very shaky, very shaky.
We've seen some better technique, but we got it done. All right, now Justin finally is finding the time.
Yeah, though it's actually interesting because it's the H pawn is on a dark square. I think.
Also, by the way, watch out! Knight c4, pawn e4 check might have been an issue. And
okay, bishop f3 and e4 maybe is also something.
Justin looks to be struggling here a little bit with his conversion. Knight c4 finally played, and knight g6. Very, very, very well played by Justin. And okay, he doesn't even have to show the knight and bishop checkmate here. He's got.
Yeah, I do think maybe Michael had bishop f3 and e4 and then king g4 didn't look so simple, but yeah, definitely you got it done in the end though. So
you got it done in the end.
Yeah, just to chime in here for a second, there's 13 and a bit more than a half a minute left of this segment, so probably 2 more games, maybe 3 games.
Looks like back to another Petrov, which is both players are probably pretty experienced in it at this point. I know Alex is the e4 guy.
Well, Petrov isn't really my strength. Again, I like my 4 knights, so different kind of boring chess, but equally boring chess. But yeah, I mean, Justin has had some decent success with this line in the 3+1. So let's see if he can repeat it. Although this time Rook e1 played. And Justin,
yeah, I mean, some stuff to consider. I mean, bishop f5, Rook e8. Do you just bring the knight back? Bishop f5.
Bishop f5 is the most testing line.
I think was this the same line where Justin played knight a6? Okay, we get it. I think we've had this position before.
Knight a6, I agree with you. Bishop g6, very solid chess here. I want to say in the previous game, knight c3 was played here. Let's see if they opt for something else now. For example, knight 2. All right, knight c3 played again. Again, I'm under the impression that this is not the most precise.
So the question here: do you go bishop g6 first, or do you take on okay, bishop g6 first?
But again, I think now white is dealing with an isolated pawn after queen c3, dc4, queen c4, and simply knight c7.
Oh, okay, b takes c3.
So he decides to give up the pawn in exchange for not getting an isolated pawn. But you know, I'd rather have a pawn.
A lot of activity here, though. So bishop g5 is coming.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't see the threat. This is a very safe king for black, and this just feels like a comfortable pawn up for black, if you ask me. A5 before coming, and some lines, and yeah, I'm not exactly sure I understand Michael's idea here.
I mean, in some worlds with this h takes g6, you get some kind of knight g5, queen e4, queen h4, but I think that's too many tempi for in this position.
Right. Now he simply trades, saying he's got the good knight versus bad bishop. I think that's a very, very reasonable choice by Justin.
Yeah, and with the pawn up, once the knight... Oh, queen f5. Yeah, queen f5 is a very nice...
I think super classy. Also a very practical choice. And again, we see Justin up 40 seconds. I mean, like clockwork, he's up on the time every game. And again, he's got a very, very pleasant position here.
Okay, but... okay, Rook e8, bishop e6.
Great chess here, again. I mean, this is some very reasonable argument here saying that he's got dark squared controlled. Yeah, a pawn is still a pawn. So let's...
Yeah, it's tough with the knight coming to d5 and then...
Yeah, now Josh, question to you. Do you take on c7? Do you think your chances are better in the rook endgame than with the minor pieces?
I probably wouldn't know. Like, I would be a little scared also. I know
I think I would have
probably not.
That knight on d5, it feels scary. I think I would have chopped it off the board before it had the chance to...
I mean, I would say one hope is if you could get the pawn to f4 and then go g4 and try to get f5 in somehow. That would be a way to get counterplay, but that's gonna have to come pretty quick here. Do you think a5 is worth playing? Like try to shut stuff down? Probably, maybe.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what Justin's looking for here on the king side. But
f4.
I think he just wants to
maybe h4 here to try to create some complications.
I think that's reasonable. I think Justin's idea here is he wants to shut off all counterplay, and then once the king side is fixed, I'm sorry, he'll then shift his attention to the queen side and try to create a passer and break through. sort of the principle of two weaknesses. Fix one on the queen side, one on the king side, and then in theory, white's forces are too stretched to defend both.
Yeah,
very textbook conversion
very
here.
textbook. Yeah.
So he's got one weakness on the king side, which is that the majority. And now maybe if you can fix a weakness on h2, for example, you might be thinking, why don't I just give g4 check? Well, now you fixed yourself a weakness on h2. So you've got to defend this h2 pawn, which Justin's already attacking, and also worry about b takes a4 and the a pawn running. And that might just be too much. King e6, I mean, very classy chess here. Yeah, rook c1. I think Michael sort of lost for moves and now down a whole minute and 10 seconds on the clock. And finally, yeah, b takes a4. Now he's saying, okay, I fixed the weakness on h2. Now
I say maybe try
and a file.
active, but yeah.
And also c3 is also a weakness. I mean, I think it's just too many holes in the position. Rook b5, great move. You can never take on a4 on account of rook b2 check, and you simply come and collect. Rook b3 here seems reasonable, collecting the c3 pawn. 93 check. Yeah, let's see how Justin decides to finish this off.
Yeah, even f6 here and just grab the e5 pawn because
what do you think about g4? You like that g4 takes f3?
I'm just liking f6. Like keep it simple. Let's.
I think you're right. a3 also a very reasonable move. I like your move though. F6 just. a3 is really mean, saying you can't take it. If you take it with the rook, I'll go rook b2. If you take it with the bishop, I'll take okay. But now this is mate probably coming shortly after rook.
Yeah, mate in 2 on as a threat here.
Right, and I don't see exactly how you're stopping it either. h4, but again, yeah, fg3, still rook g2 and rook h4 is mate. And I think that is also just mate on the board. Wow, I mean, that's really textbook game from Justin there. He poked some holes, then he played h5, created some weaknesses on the king side, and then only when the moment was right did he take on a4 and infiltrate through the b file. I mean, that was really some phenomenal technique and phenomenal time management. I mean, he ended the game up a minute on the clock. If Justin can keep playing like that, Michael might be
this line again. Maybe b5 here is an improvement to try to hold on. Oh, c5. That's pretty.
I think that's a great strategy now, realizing that it wasn't working, whatever he was playing. So now just trying for something new. But I mean, if Justin's in that kind of form for the rest of the tournaments, I think we're all in trouble. Well, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
But well, let's see. Michael again has also been playing some phenomenal chess, so I think
this looks to be a pretty tactical line. Maybe bishop c3 is to consider here.
Yeah, I completely agree.
And there's actually some crazy stuff. So like b takes c3, queen takes c3, and then oh wait a sec, because okay, I was gonna say because I looked at king f1, but I realized queen takes c3, queen c4 is check. So
right, yeah.
I just get rid of the complications.
I think now again, somehow Michael's underdeveloped. Although now he's finally managed to equalize on the clock. So let's see what happens. a4 is a very, very nice move.
It looked like Justin's saying if you go queen c3, I'm going to go rook c1 and then just get a tons of activity.
And again, LPDO, that bishop on c8 is undefended. Loose pieces drop off. I don't think that pawn on c3 is takeable. Now, bishop d7, a very practical choice.
Queen b3.
Queen b3, another great move, saying that knight c6 can maybe be met with queen b7, although...
Yeah, maybe just go queen c7 back here, just defend the pawn.
I think that's reasonable. Sort of
and maybe try to queenside castle and get active on the g file.
Oh, I mean, that feels a bit ambitious, but I like your style, that's for sure.
And Michael is probably also in a definitely a must-win situation here, I would say. I think
the bullet is only going to get worse for him, so I think he's got to make something happen. So maybe you're right. Maybe long castles should be considered.
Rook a7.
That doesn't feel right to me. But I think also a very reasonable move. Again, simply trying knight c6, trade some of the pieces off.
d1.
Rook e1, very standard. But again, I'm not feeling the Veselin Topalov, the Bulgarian grandmaster and world champion. He liked to talk about the harmony of pieces. Like he said, are the pieces harmonious together? And I think in this case, with a rook on a7, a rook on h8, a knight on b8, and a bishop d7, you're not feeling the harmony, right? Whereas white has got rooks on e1 and d1, a bishop on c4, a knight on d4, it feels much more harmonious. So even if Black doesn't have any clear weaknesses. I think there's some missing harmony, which then I think is often transferred into other advantages.
Yeah, very, very poetic for sure. Yeah.
I mean, he was especially when he gets to the bars, he gets very poetic about chess. That's for sure.
I do like castling by Michael. I think it's a good practical decision. Just get the king out to
I
H8.
agree. Getting the rook into the game, sort of trying to reestablish coordination.
Ooh, E5. Wow.
E5 is a great move. I think when your pieces are also perfectly placed, you sort of have the right to make changes to the structure.
So after takes is Justin's idea knight F3 and then maybe F6 here.
Yeah.
But F6 bishop takes E6 though. So.
Yeah, so knight C6 is of course met with rook G7, but then maybe knight A5. I hadn't really calculated that.
Oh wow, bishop takes A4.
I think that's also a great practical choice, by the way. Sort of fixing all of his pieces at the cost.
But now the queen can swing over to G4 and cause a lot of trouble too with.
Yeah, or to H4 with knight G5 coming, right?
Yeah, it looks quite dangerous. Yeah.
And again, look at that knight on B8. It's been 20 moves. It hasn't moved from its starting square. That's never a good sign.
Yeah, even knight takes E5 here looks quite dangerous.
Right. Although, again, for now at least, I don't see a threat on the board.
Yeah, there are some like if you move the rook from A7, there might be this rook D8
right,
idea.
but now this rook A7, it's actually kind of a silent hero defending the
Yeah.
on way over from the other side of the board. But again, look at this, 33 seconds for Michael and a minute and a half for Justin. That's never a situation you want to be in. Queen C3.
Rook E3.
Rook E3, great move. Yeah, just bringing another piece into the attack. And look at that knight still on B8. Veselin Topalov would not be happy with that harmony, that's for sure. That's just... you can imagine if that knight were only on F6, right? Everything would sort of be okay, but it's...
I still don't think it's so trivial although there might be maybe Queen D4 here.
Also, I mean, Rook G3 looks somewhat reasonable.
Yeah.
Probably F6 is forced there, and now all sorts of tactics become possible. Although you do have to be a little bit careful about the back rank. Queen D4, also a great move.
Yeah, it's a mate threat on the board with a knight G6.
Right, so F6 is probably forced. Rook E1, wow, that's very ambitious chess.
Oh, wait a sec, though. If F takes E5, Queen A7, there's Queen F2. So.
Takes Queen, he's just dropped a rook. Well, but I think, yeah, Rook E1 was maybe not the move. Rook G3 here seems very clinical.
Yeah, okay. So
oh, wow, I mean, Josh, we've got to go back and look at that after the match for sure. I think that was a very interesting conversion.
And just to chime in here, so there's 2 minutes left of this second segment. Chess Quack in the chat says he's enjoying the Alex coaching lessons. So that's a National Master Matthew O'Brien, so he's enjoying it. And Jeffrey in the chat said that in the opening of the last game, he thought that like maybe Black had to go all in and take on C3 twice instead of what he did in the game, which was taking on F6.
Again, if you take on C3 twice, Rook C1 is coming, and I agree with Jeffrey there that you kind of want to suffer for something, right? But the question is if you can get away with it or not.
Yeah, and interesting here, it looks like Michael opts for the English to switch it up a little bit, and it looks like he has a pretty reasonable position, has good control with the center.
Right? I mean, center and...
E5's coming. Yeah, this looks like it's gone very well, and he's also got a good time advantage. So I think this will be a very important game for Michael to get some momentum as well.
I mean, if he doesn't win this one, going into the bullet down 3 is not a place you want. In fact, down 4 going into the bullet is not a place you want to be.
Yeah, I like bishop F4 here. Get the bishop in, then bring the other rook in. Looks very reasonable.
I think that's right. Knight A6, very enterprising. Maybe trying for something.
Yeah, Queen C4, very nice move too.
Knight B5. A3 B5, Justin, always tricky. But
looks like well navigated by Michael though. Just getting.
Yeah, I mean, Michael, again, great chess. Now up on the clock himself, big center. Great piece coordination. This looks very, very good for Michael, and I think we can also root for him here because you always want to root for the person that makes the match most exciting, and I think now that's Michael. So we've been giving Justin all this support about how he's playing great chess, but I think we can't understate that Michael's been playing some very, very great chess, and I think we can also see this in this game where he's really taking control of the board. Queen e4 here looks reasonable. Knight e4 looks reasonable, or like you said, simply bishop f4. All very reasonable options.
Yeah, this looks like it has gone definitely very ideal, and then the key here will be to just play some moves quickly. So maybe just blitz out bishop f4, bring the rook in, and
I completely
keep
agree
it
with you.
solid.
I think one thing is maybe e6 might be a little too
Four.
hasty. I think we really want to go bishop f4, rook e1 first, and only when you've maximized your pieces, then you break. Rook c8. Again, I think bishop f4, rook e1 is really due.
I assume you probably don't want to trade the queens off with g4 and then queen takes g6. Probably not, right? I say keep the queens on, keep the complications.
Yeah.
e6. Okay.
e6. This feels a little, I mean, strong but premature. Again, the Russians always say,
yeah, knight f6 here is strong.
You want to optimize all of your pieces, maximize. So e6 before there's a bishop on f4 and a rook on e1 feels preemptive.
But wait a sec. There. Oh, okay. There was. Oh, never mind. The queen was under attack.
But Josh, I feel like you can almost feel here that rook on a1 should really be on e1 right about now.
Yeah, I think Justin's maybe sees the initiative now. It's looking pretty good for him.
e6 again. I said it felt a little bit hasty, and I think that might prove to be true here. Although knight d5 feels very reasonable. I think cd5.
Is there queen takes d5 here perhaps? Queen takes e7, rook e8, and some rook e2 check, or hard to say.
Maybe. Although I think there's also nothing wrong with just taking cd5 and queen b5.
Yeah.
You went with rook c2. But yeah, I think Josh, you might have been right about queen d5.
I don't think so actually on second look. But this actually, I think Michael might have turned it around a little bit. This actually looks pretty fine now.
I agree. He's found some time to consolidate. I think Justin maybe needed to be a little faster.
Yeah, now the b5 pawn is under attack.
Queen e6, reasonable. I imagine something like rook c1 will probably be played, or rook e1. Both look like very reasonable moves. But again, that rook's been on a1 long enough. I think it's time for it to step into the game as well.
Even maybe a4 here is also an idea. But I guess there's just b4. Yeah, I think I like rook c1, like you said.
Queen b5, but again, rook c2, and I think rook b again. Now this is some great counterplay for Justin that I don't think we had to allow. I think simply rook c1 was prudent, and the b5 pawn was always going to be weak, right? So I think maybe he's cashed in his advantage a little bit too quickly here.
Yeah, this looks a little dangerous now with the other rook taking on b2 and then the rook g2 mate threat.
Yeah, again, I don't think this was necessary. I think he could have just gone rook c1 and prevented any of this from happening.
Yeah, and is this actually just losing now? I'm not seeing.
I don't want to say losing. Maybe the knight can come back to f3 and defend everything, but it certainly isn't where you want to be.
Queen h3 here.
And again, he's down on the clock. Yeah, something's gone wrong. Bishop d2 is probably only move now, sort of blocking up the file. Played. I think rook g2 check was maybe stronger, followed by something like rook to e2 maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, not so easy anymore.
h6 I think is a great practical choice, just passing the move to white. And now I think it's past time that this rook sort of takes its leave from a1 and finds.
Also, I think Justin's idea here might be to try for some bishop g5 idea as well. But rook c1, definitely trade the rooks off.
I think that's a great choice. Relieve the pressure. And again, that knight on a6 is still hanging. All these moves later. So that's.
I actually think Michael might just be a good bit better here. Actually, it looks. I'm having some trouble finding a move for Justin. Queen c8.
It's a great move, though. I mean, defending all of his pieces.
Is there bishop h6 here? Is that a potential idea?
I like
getting some activity here.
But rook f2 also seems reasonable. Queen c4, I think, a great practical move. And again, Justin finds himself up 30 seconds on the clock.
Maybe queen g6 here.
Yeah, great shout out. Bishop h6 is threatened. Knight c7, he's unimpressed. Knight e5. Wow, this
is there rook takes d2 here? Oh no, the queen is hanging.
Is there queen d4? So many questions. But c2 is hanging, but queen f7 in the air. He decides to go for queen d4, but I don't believe in this. The rook's hanging on c2. There we go. I think simply captured, and this should be very strong for white. Although again, not so easy. That king on g1 is feeling a little naked. Bishop f4 played, take. Ooh, now that king is feeling really quite exposed. Queen d2, great idea, trading off the queens. Queen e4, keeping.
Yeah, I don't think this is so
Great
simple.
choice.
Simple. The
Queen f5. Yeah, I agree with you. I think this has gone a little bit wrong for Michael. Now checks. This might just be a perpetual on the board, and I think he should take it. He doesn't want it. He's going for more. Queen g4, queen g3, knight f4, check, picks up the pawn, and take, knight d3, check, or no?
is there knight d3 here and then queen f4 picking up the rook?
Wow, amazing. Great tactical vision. Yeah, great spot. I think both players missed
Oh,
that
yeah,
one.
if you want.
Now he's got another chance, but he might just go for the rook.
Okay, I thought knight d3 might have been winning.
I think you might just be right at knight d3.
But a draw, a draw is
Yeah.
that's definitely a hard. Yeah. It's definitely
Wow, amazing. Oh, I think you're right. Knight d3 and queen f4. Amazing spot. Yeah, wow, incredible. What a game to end in a draw. And I think now Justin's going into the bullet up 3. I think he's probably pretty happy where this match is right now.
Yeah, definitely. That was quite the game.
Alrighty, so just to chime in, so they are taking their 5-minute break, and so at 3:41 we will resume the game. So we will head over to the waiting screen. Alrighty, we are live with this last segment, and Justin leads 3 points to 6.5 to 3.5, and let's see if Michael can pull a comeback here.
Yeah, no, we're super excited. This is going to be a test of our commentary to see if we can talk fast enough to keep up with the bullet. We will we'll try our best here. Josh, what do you think about the opening?
Yeah, I think it's back to, I think Justin's strategy is to keep this very solid, playing this French position, and then it looks like Michael's playing very fast as well. So, yeah, very definitely, this definitely will be a strategic battle, this game for sure, and both players have basically just been playing on increments. So.
Yeah, I mean, I think in bullet, the strategy is to go back to what you know best. For Justin, that's his Rubinstein French. So I think both players are playing positions that they're familiar and comfortable with. And we'll
Yeah, and I think this has gone quite well for Justin with this undermining this square, and now the knight might come to d5.
I agree. I mean, this is pretty standard by Justin. I imagine he'll plop something on d5 shortly.
Yeah, yes.
d5, bishop g3, and c5. Okay, just really killing the game, so to speak. Although, I mean, I think these positions still have a lot of venom in them. In the long term, of course, white will try to make a pass pawn on the king side, and black will try to go f6 and e5 and create a pass pawn in the center. So even though people might think these positions are dry and boring, I think they're anything but.
Although now it does look like a pawn is dropping for Michael.
Yeah, no, I mean, if Justin can just press a 4v3, I mean, this is ideal. He can burn like 3 minutes off the clock here and probably also take home a win along with it. So this is really a dream scenario for Justin. He'll be in no hurry to convert this.
Yeah, and I have to say from personal experience, these knight endgames with the 4v3 are actually pretty hard to defend from my experience.
That's the wrong trade. You have to trade your knight endgames are just like pawn endgames, and that a 4v3 is almost always losing. Whereas a rook endgame 4v3 on the same flank is of course drawn. So I think this might just be objectively lost now with the trade of the rooks. I think the trade of the knights had to be made.
Maybe the strategy here is to try to trade off some pawns, maybe go like f4 at some point.
Sure, but I'm also worried that this knight might get trapped in some scenarios, and okay, e5 comes.
Yeah.
And again, this should just be lost. Like I said, knight endgames are just like pawn endgames. So Justin here,
h4.
h4, fair enough, but yeah, king f6, take. Knight b2, knight c4, king d4, knight d6.
Okay, now I do think the drawing chances are definitely better.
Yeah,
than
now I think the drawing chances are back. Again, also, so are the chances for Justin to, blow another 2 minutes off the clock here.
Yeah.
He'll be in no rush to play f4. But when he does decide to...
yeah, I mean, he could theoretically just literally shuffle his pieces around, I mean, until the 50 move rule as well.
Yeah, I mean, he can also shuffle for 49 moves and then play f4 and then shuffle for another 50 moves. So, also, I'm not really happy about this knight going on a journey. I might get trapped if Michael isn't paying attention, although it can always escape to the f4 square, which I think is a great
Now
place.
knight e6, though, and no squares for the knight.
Yeah, good point. f4 might actually just be played here.
Maybe f4 might be a f4 take, knight g3, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Anyway, I would go king. I would just play f4 here and see what I can make happen. You've got to play it at some point, right? e3, also a great try. Actually, that looks very strong. King e2, not panicking in the face of danger. King g2, dodging knight e4 check. Knight e4 still played. King e3, knight f4. Should be a draw. But again, Justin will be very happy to milk this position for all it's worth. And yeah, I feel like we've burned some solid time off the match clock here.
Yeah, to that point, there's 10.5 minutes left. So this game has already lasted 4.5 minutes.
Yeah, wow. I mean, and I don't think it's going to end anytime soon either. So this is, like I said, worst case scenario for Michael. And
okay, now at least it ends.
And knight takes g4. Wow. I mean, that's.
I still think if Michael can come out of the gate strong in this one though, and then build some momentum, I think they're still definitely not over.
Our job to root for the underdog, which is now the person who's down 3.
And yeah, trading on c5, d5 early in this Queen's Gambit decline is definitely Justin trying to keep it solid, like
right,
get the pieces off.
Yeah. Take 97. I mean, super slow and solid chess here by Justin. Going for a minority attack as one does in the Carlsbad.
Oh, taking on c3.
Take b5. Although I mean, I have to say I don't hate. Yeah, black is again going for a kingside attack as he should in the Carlsbad. Queen b7 makes some sort of sense. Rook e7, queen a6. Rook c7 feels a bit passive, but yeah, queen d6 and maybe f6 will kick the knight out and try to create something
Yeah.
kingside. But 93 is super strong.
h4 though, there is some counterplay here to be
There's some
careful
counterplay,
of.
especially that c7 rook can swing around to the king side in a moment's notice. But knight f4 is an amazing move, covering the h3 square and shutting down all counterplay. King f1, great prophylaxis.
Is there knight takes d5? Oh,
yeah, wow. I mean, great tactical vision there by Justin. And if the c6 pawn falls, so does the position. h3 is a great move, though. I mean, wow. Creating some counterplay. Knight c7. h2.
Queen takes c8, though, and king
e8, though, and he might get a second queen, but not fast enough. Ah, queen f5.
Oh, queen f5.
No, he's not. Oh, no. This doesn't look great. Knight e6 check. He sacks the queen to make another one, but unfortunately, you're still down 2 rooks. And
I wonder if it's just best to resign here and get another game.
Rook g1 is also a very classy move. Yeah, he just resigns and tries to get another game. But now I don't know if he's got enough time to win 4 games. And look at Justin. I mean, just playing super solid chess. Symmetrical pawn structure. I mean, this is looking worse and worse for Michael by the minutes. We don't want to call the match. Anything can still happen, but this isn't looking great.
Oh, is there bishop h3?
I think there might have been. But again,
and now it's maybe d5.
Any risks, right? He can sort of just sit on the position and try to stall. Bishop e3, b6. Knight c5 takes. Now he's got himself a very nice dark squared bishop unchallenged. So I quite like Justin's position here as well. Bishop e8 is a classy move, keeping the bishop pair.
Okay, knight g2, knight coming to e4. There might be some play here.
Yeah, b3.
Yeah, c5 pawn's pretty weak.
Here, consolidating all of his pieces onto light squares, sort of making this dark squared bishop feel a little bit useless.
f4. Okay, watch out for some rook takes d4, bishop f7 ideas too.
Oh, g6.
I guess it's not here. Oh, there's queen f7. I guess.
Oh no, I think he's went for tactics that might just not be working.
I would have played that too. So.
No, we can't blame him. I mean, he needed to make something happen here from nothing. So I think a very great practical try.
Although I don't think you can take on f6 though here.
No,
there's definitely this position is definitely still alive for sure.
c5, queen f5 coming next maybe.
Bishop f7. Wow.
Here even queen f5 also just takes the rook, and it's just not enough. That king on g7 is remarkably safe, shielded by white's pieces. Rook e8. And queen e3 is a great move. No checks for white. This might be just another one in the books for...
Queen d5 is a good try.
Yeah, but rook e8, and it's just not enough. He's just down a rook and probably getting checkmated soon. He just resigns, tries to get in another game, but I think now we might be at the point where mathematically Justin can sort of just...
Oh, and Justin brings out
the... Here we see the a4, e3. I mean, just terrible sportsmanship here from our pen chess #1. That's not great to see. Again, he's not known for his etiquette. Maybe he's trying to make a statement or something. We are not happy to see that one bit. That feels a bit... Oh, sorry. I think I was disconnected briefly from the meet, but yeah.
And I would say for this, there is actually some theory to this. I know that Justin was experimenting with it a bit with some theory. I know Brandon Jacobson is the one who's popularized this line, so there's some merit to it.
I mean, also now he's also winning from it, which just feels like salt in the wound. Joshua, what do you feel about this a4 rook a3?
It's something. I mean, but even now, I'd say rook e8. Okay, there's still. I think Michael has a lot of play here still, even with the piece.
I don't know. You can call me a classical player, but I think such things are a little bit rude, especially when you're up 5 games and have had such an amazing match. But
I don't know. He hasn't played the Bond Cloud yet. He did that in his first match that he played.
Yeah, that's
in this event.
Not great. But again, I mean, he's made it work and has got himself a fantastic position. But yeah, I'm not very fond of that decision, that's for sure. In any case, let's just talk about this position on its chess merits. I think that king on f2 is feeling very loose, but again, now after bishop takes d4, he sort of consolidated his 2-piece for rook advantage and is now just trading pieces. I think practically a great decision.
Okay, queen h3. There's some
Yeah, he's
some
infiltrated.
stuff here. Rook
Uh-oh.
takes d2 is a threat.
Also, the c2 pawn is always hanging. King f3 is, I think, a great move. King g2. He sort of consolidated now with c3, fixing this.
h4 coming. Queen e2.
Great move. Queen e2. Again, trying to trade queens at all costs. Queen e5, threatening mate and threatening the queen trade. This might be the clincher. Isn't that h5 a move?
Probably, but I think yeah, king d4.
Awesome
Rook
check.
c2.
Wow. Queen e8 check. King h7. Maybe simply knight f5. Oh no, rook g6. Something is wrong here. That king is being checkmated. That's for sure.
Oh, and just taking the knight. Yeah.
I have to say, you know, as much as we like our pen chess players, I think this is a very deserved loss. Might just be.
And I wonder if Justin will
Rook
stall
a3.
out his entire clock here or just accept. Okay, looks like he just accepted.
Let's make it happen. There's at least a little bit of sportsmanship there, but we are not approving, and Justin also decides to go back to some normal chess.
Knight takes d5. Interesting decision.
I
Definitely just trying to trade the pieces off.
Yeah, I think it's reasonable. Queen a5 also sort of reasonable. h6, maybe g5 even should be considered. Anyway, he goes for bishop e7. No need to risk anything. Simply castling his king, and I think this is a very, very equal position. The Catalan bishop is sort of blunted by this pawn on c6, and Justin is just trading pieces at Mach speed.
I would say Michael, I think, does have a good position here, pretty solid. But I guess now Justin does have c5.
Yeah, now these darks. Like, oh, oh no, it's collapsing again. Rook d2 coming, queen c3 coming. Oy.
Definitely, it seems that Justin seemed pretty well prepared with the openings, like what positions he's trying to get, and definitely has been pretty comfortable.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think we're gonna have a very interesting post-match interview. But for now, both players are still playing, fighting it out to the very last. Justin, though, I mean, great technique, consolidating everything. a6, just making all the small improving moves that he can. And I think when he sees fit, he'll simply trade with bishop f5 and just shuffle until the match clock is out. This might be their last game. I think, Nathan, you can...
Yeah, there's 2 minutes and 5 seconds left of this time control, so
yeah, this could be their last game, or you know, maybe if it finishes quickly, then one more. In fact, it might finish pretty quickly. I think this king is in trouble. Bishop f1, and now you can simply trade, and okay, that's game over. I think f6 is probably the clinical way to do it, and is also played. Yeah, I think Michael might just resign this one and try to get one more game in. There it is. So I think this next game will probably be the final game. And Justin also shows some manners here, playing knight f3.
Always good to finish out.
Strong, yeah. So I think both players will try to give us one last game to enjoy.
Yeah, I would say overall in this match, I've been incredibly impressed with the level of play. I mean, I think very high level positional battles. I mean, some of the game's crazy tactics definitely could have gone either way for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, both players played some really phenomenal chess. So
I mean, even this game, like the positional play here, knight c5, knight e6.
Yeah,
like this for a bullet game, it's like this is very high level.
Yeah, no, I mean, Michael is playing some awesome chess, but Justin is just, I think, a little bit too fast. And at the end of the day, it's a speed chess championship, so the speed is just as important as the chess. h5 again, great chess here by Michael, lifting the rook to g6. I mean, phenomenal chess here. King f1 trying to run away. I think a very good practical decision.
Probably take on h5 here.
h5, rook g5, and king e2. Great chess by yeah, like you said, Josh. I mean, great chess by both players here.
Maybe he's looking at some kind of bishop takes c3 idea.
But yeah, king f8 a bit slow. Justin simply going rook h1, rook g1. Takes on e4. I imagine bishop e4 looks quite forced.
Bishop c3, nice tactic.
Right.
Maybe like rook g4 here.
Yeah, queen c3, this feels wrong. I mean, I feel like your king should be getting mated somehow. Rook G1, for example, looks already quite bad. Rook E3 check, on the other hand, is not something I had on my radar.
And the time control, the segment is officially ended. So this is the last game.
Well,
It
congrats.
does look like the rook is dropping on h1 though, so
It
definitely.
does look like that, but at the very least, we'll find some sort of perpetual here for Justin, right? Like, I think this is just should be equal. Justin nominally though up a pawn, but again with the king on f4, there should be all sorts of perpetuals. King e7 played. I imagine Justin will.
Maybe king e5 here though.
King g5 is
yeah, king g5.
very ambitious. King queen h3.
It's always good to like leave it all out there for the last game, regardless of this.
Right. I agree. They're just trying to put on a show for us. King g6. King hides on h7. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Queen b7, and I think he'll take on b7, and this h pawn feels dangerous. Although that c pawn is also quite fast down the board. He decides to take first on a7, allowing queen h6, takes king d5. Uh-oh, that b6 pawn looks to be running. This might, in fact, just be a winning position for white. I don't see any checks for black.
Yeah, that pawn on g7 is actually doing a very good job.
Amazing. Have you ever seen a king hiding on g8, a white king hiding on g8? I mean, that's really incredible stuff. And again, no checks. A king on g6, perfectly safe, and queen f6. I mean, wow. What a final game that was.
Yeah, and respect to both players for fighting that out to the end, giving us an instructive endgame.
And what a conclusion to the match, right? That was really instructive, a lot to learn. Justin did a great thing, running the king to the opposite side of the board and using the black pawn to shield himself from the checks. I mean, wow, I think is the only way we can describe that match. That was a battle from both players, and I think if anything, that last game can be a metaphor for the whole match, right? I mean, first Michael was better, and they both had some amazing positional ideas, and ultimately, I think Justin edged him out on the clock. But I mean, amazing chess from both players.
All right,
sure.
just to chime in here, so we're going to be moving over to the waiting screen as the players join us for the post-match interview. We have with us both players. For the people watching at home, it's Justin right above me and Michael to my left. That was a really exciting match. I kind of want to start with you, Michael. Like, how did you feel you played compared to the last match you played against Justin in last year's edition? And I guess two-pronged, like, were you getting the positions you were hoping for?
Yeah, I think in the last match, honestly, I thought I played better in the faster time controls. I think maybe I was playing more bullet then, and I was like more used to speed. Here, I actually thought I was playing better in general, but I think I was just a little too slow at some moments, so that may have been a problem. But also, yeah, about the positions that you mentioned, I think the positions that Justin got are very well suited to him, and he plays them very well. So like, especially like this D4, there was a game with like the E3 and the B3 stuff, and I'm always like, I don't know what to do here. So yeah, and then Justin always has a good plan. So yeah, kudos to him. It was a good stuff.
Yeah, Justin, do you agree with Michael's assessment, or like how did you feel about the positions you were getting?
So I think what happened was in the 5 minute, I kept like getting terrible positions. I feel like he like prepared something, like I don't know. But during the break, I had to like look at my lines. So then like I looked at my prep, and then like so I started like winning once I did my openings.
Yeah. I guess Josh and Alex, what do you guys think? And do you guys have any questions to ask Justin and Michael?
I mean, I had a question for Michael. We were gonna ask Josh and I were thinking, what did you use the break for? Did you maybe look at the Petrosian line? I noticed after knight c3, somehow Justin always got some great positions. So did you use the time to sort of reset mentally, or were you more trying to find some opening improvements for the next games? And if so, what were they?
Well, so for the first break, I didn't really look at much because I was like, oh wait, I have a 1 point lead, like it's fine, like I don't need to look at anything, it's going okay. So I kind of just like did some random stuff, and then I went back to the match. For the second break, I was like, oh man, I'm like losing all these games out of the opening, or not out of the opening, but I was getting kind of bad positions. So I did try and look at the line during then. But I think by then at the bullet, it was a 3-point deficit, and it was a little too hard to overcome. I did look at that Petrov line again. The improvement that I found was after knight c5, you go f3, and you kind of like get this fork on like the bishop and the knight, and then it gets really crazy from there. So I looked at that, but it never came up again. So didn't really matter too much.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely in terms of match strategy for both of you, like was Justin, I assume your strategy was kind of to keep the positions like pieces off, try to just like kind of sit there, buckle down, and then try to outplay Michael. It seemed like a lot of times like when the position was more tactical, you had some great success. Just curious about both of your match strategies in particular.
Wait, sorry, is that a question for Justin or for me?
For both of you guys.
Oh, okay. Justin, why don't you start?
Oh, match strategy. Well, I didn't prepare for like the first 5 minutes, so I was like down by a point. So I felt like I was getting terrible positions. So, but then like during the 3 minute, I really found like my groove, I think. So then I started like, winning. But
Yeah, for me, I think in general, I didn't want to go for like super close positions. Although even in like the kind of crazier positions, I think Justin did get the upper hand. I think in bullet, I have a tendency to just like want to trade all the pieces off because like, oh, I can't think. I just need to get everything off. So that's kind of maybe something I should work on a little bit. But yeah, I don't know. For the match strategy, I'm not really sure.
Yeah, I mean, some of those end games really burn so much match clock. I mean, that first bullet game was like lasted 5 minutes, but it could have gone a lot longer. So it's kind of amazing to see like these slower end games that took so long. So, yeah.
Yeah, I've actually got one more question for Justin. Looking forward to your upcoming finals against Josh here, do you think you're going to have a different match strategy? Do you think you're going to try the same? What are your thoughts going into that final?
I haven't thought about it yet, but like I'm just trying to do my best and like see what happens.
Yeah, Justin, I asked everyone this, but in your next match, do you consider yourself like a heavy favorite, a slight favorite, or like it's balanced? Like, what do you think?
Maybe like slight favors, yeah.
Slight favorite? Okay.
Josh, how would you respond to that?
No, I would definitely agree with Justin's assessment, especially after watching him play today. I'll definitely try to avoid the like positional stuff and just try to make stuff crazy, and maybe I can win a few games. It should be fun though. I'm looking forward to it.
Great. Yeah. Well, I want to thank you guys both again for playing, and I'll be in touch with both you Justin, and you Josh about the timing for the next match. And yeah, I mean, do you guys have any other comments, like Alex Strauss, or any other questions we want to bring up?
I mean, I would just say this was like the level of play was very high level, especially the end games positional play. Like I was personally very impressed and really enjoyed watching the match. Definitely much higher level than my level of play in the last match, like 100%. So
I want to also give both congrats to both players. I mean, the chess, even going into the last bullet game, this maneuver with knight c5, knight e6, I mean, just really high level chess throughout, consistently, resilience. It was just a pleasure to watch the match from both sides. So, I mean, that was really, really awesome stuff. So, I mean, a big congrats to both of you.
Thank you, and thanks for commentating in the match. Appreciate it. I know you guys are busy, you have things to do, so thanks for taking time out of your day to do that.
Yep. You guys are dealing with the student life. But yeah, we'll end the stream here, and thank you everyone for watching.
All right, have a good day. Bye-bye.
Yep. See you.